Board members and staff, I'll start with myself. I'm Board President John Horner. We'll go to my right.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Veronica Andrade, Board Vice President.
Thank you all for waiting. Sarah Northrop Gaddis, Clerk.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for being here. I am Trustee Jennifer Marquez.
Good evening, I'm Rebecca, Trustee Munson. But you know, when you introduce yourself, you want to say your first name, so sorry about that.
Good evening, I'm Student Board Member Mariam Faruqi.
Good evening, welcome. Thanks for your patience. Trustee Pamela Gardner.
Good evening, buenas noches. Diana Jimenez, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services.
Good evening, Kaveri Chang, Assistant Superintendent of Business.
Good evening, I'm Diana Taveras, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources.
Good evening, I'm Claudia Estrada, Executive Assistant to ESD.
Good evening, Carmen Garcia, Superintendent. I'd like to address our Spanish-speaking audience. Miembros de la comunidad de habla hispana, tenemos traducción simultánea. Por favor, hagan clic en el icono del mundo debajo de la pantalla. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros.
And Trustee Altman is joining us remotely on Zoom. So we'll hear from Trustee Altman here in a little bit. Okay, very good. Thank you. Now we adopt the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Munson. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Trustee Gardner. All right. Well, since we have somebody participating remotely, we have to have a roll call vote. So,
Student Member Faruqi.
Aye.
Trustee Munson.
Aye.
Trustee Marquez.
Aye.
Trustee Northrop Gaddis.
Aye.
Trustee Andrade.
Aye.
Trustee Horner.
aye.
Trustee Altman.
Do we have Trustee Altman unmuted?
Trustee Gardner.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Very good. Thank you very much. Item E, closed session, new mouth, sorry, action report. The board voted in closed session to approve the appointment of Guillermo Ramos as the new principal at San Martin Gwin, beginning the next school year or earlier if he becomes available correctly. And that passed unanimously by the members present, which was 6 of us. Trustee Altman was not able to participate. I'd like to ask Assistant Superintendent Tavares to introduce Mr. Ramos.
All right, Guillermo Ramos. For over 26 years, Guillermo has worked in education as a teacher and principal of both elementary and middle schools. He began his career as a bilingual elementary school teacher in the Pajaro Valley School District in Watsonville, and later transitioned to principal at Hall District Elementary and John H. Montgomery Elementary School. For the past 6 years, he's been the principal at South Valley Middle School, where, where he's had the opportunity to lead the district's middle school dual immersion program. Guillermo is passionate about providing students with the education that is enriching, exciting, and filled with lifelong learning, much like the one he had growing up in Watsonville. He and his wife, Esmeralda, are proud parents of 2 daughters, Melia and Isabella. With that, I introduce you to Mr. Guillermo Ramos.
And do we have Mr. Ramos live? Yes or no?
I'm here. Do you hear me?
We hear you loud and
Yes.
clear.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. I appreciate that, and I'm excited to learn more. To join Morgan Hill Unified School District, and I look forward to starting there very soon.
Thank you, Guillermo. We are looking forward to having you join our Morgan Hill Unified School District family.
Thank you. I think my camera just turned on, so here I am.
You're looking good.
Welcome, Principal Ramos. I want to tell everybody that he's currently on spring break and he's in Puerto Vallarta, so that's wonderful that he was able to join us remotely. So congratulations, and I hope your vacation continues to be amazing. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Okay, now we're moving on to, I think, why there's about 200 people packed into the room here. Recognitions and presentations. We have 4 different recognitions, then we'll have a presentation from Los Paseos. We're going to start with the College Board National Recognition Program at An Sobrado High School, and Assistant Principal Villa will present this item. There she is. Make sure your little green light's on there. On the mic. And maybe point it down a little bit so it's pointed right at your face. It's a crowded room. Everybody wants to hear you.
Thank you, everybody. Am I supposed to read what's in the packet or just
This is your show.
go for it? All right.
This is your show. You're supposed to do what you like.
Awesome. So
How often do you get to hear that, huh?
So we are pleased to recognize An Sobrado High School for. We have students that are among the 90,000 who have earned academic honors through College Board. Eligible students have a GPA of 3.5 or higher and have excelled on the PSAT/NMSQT, which is the National Merit Scholar Qualifying Test, or the PSAT 10, or their AP exams, and they identify as African American or Black, Hispanic American or Latinx, Indigenous, and/or attend school in a rural area or small town. We are extremely proud of these students' accomplishments. Congratulations to these fine young students who are excellent representatives of An Sobrado High School and the Morgan Hill Unified School District. I'm pleased to recognize tonight Isis Albaran. If you could step forward. Elizabeth Duong. Temperance Guerrero. Audrey Mulligan. Josie Payne. And Riley Plute.
Okay, awesome. Now we're going to come around and get some pictures with you, and we'll move on after that. We're going to do a lot of stand up, sit down. Maybe just stay standing.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Yes. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
We have 2 more.
Okay, now we're going to invite Principal Diaz from Live Oak to join.
We have
Assistant Principal Villa.
it's a different agenda item.
Don't go anywhere. You're both up for this one. We have our National Merit Scholarship Commendation recognitions, including students from both Live Oak High School and An Sobrado High School.
Good evening. I'm Veronica Diaz. I have the pleasure of serving Live Oak as principal. And Mickey and myself will be presenting to you this evening our students that have received the commended student of the 2025 National Merit Scholarship Program for their outstanding performance on the preliminary SAT, the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test in 2023. Nationwide, there are about 34,000 commended students that are recognized for their exceptional academic promise. So I will begin. Live Oak student, we are very proud to recognize Dylan Porter for his amazing accomplishment.
And from Sobrato High School, I'm pleased to call back to the podium Elizabeth Duong. And we have one more, Grayson Fong.
Great job. Okay, more pictures.
Oh, pictures. It's like church. Kneel, stand, sit.
Thank you.
I'll squeeze it this way so people can come behind me. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right. Come on over. All right. This way.
Honorable mention.
Oh my goodness, okay, there's 3 trustees back there, we can't back. I'm on my seat, it's fine, you're good, you're good. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Hey, that's fun. Let's do more of that. Principal Diaz will now present the AP Scholar recognitions for Live Oak High School.
So it is a pleasure for us this evening with my administrative team, Assistant Principal Fernando Camargo and Assistant Principal Michael Marius, to recognize this evening our AP Scholar students based on the 2024 test administration. In all, we had 74 recipients, but 27 of them were class of 2024 graduates, so they're already on their post-secondary pathways. But this evening, we are recognizing, and I'd like to point out that 5 of our recipients have earned an AP Scholar status when they were sophomores. Wow. And then the other remaining 42 have received the recognitions as 11th grade students. But they do have the opportunity of continuing to earn recognitions as they continue taking more AP tests. Okay, so the first level of recognition is called AP Scholar, and this is granted to students who receive scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. All right, so we can begin. Bianca Appleby. Megan Cahill Mallory. Daniela Cardenas Valdez. They're coming through? Yes. Come on through, students.
She's coming.
Yes.
Okay.
We need a little
And
red
then you
carpet.
can stand over there, sweetie. This is Daniela. Yes, thank you. Okay. Kat Clement. Cameron Cora. Eknur Dillon. Ava Dinoto. Mariam Farouki. Kaden Golubach. Cynthia Gonzalez Gallardo. Lily Hansen. Jessica Hennigan. And Jewel Hennigan. Jalen Henry, Ibrahim Hernandez, Giselle Jimenez Ibarra, Braden Laris, Seth Laurent, Zongzi Leong, Riley Murrell, Nicholas File, V. Pham, Elizabeth Richardson, Rocco Rodriguez, Sophia Safarian, Gabriela Salas Aguilar, Aaron Saucedo, Kirthi Sriram, Stephanie Torres, Savanrit Tra, Angel Vargas, okay, so the second group that we have been awarded the AP Scholar Award with honor. So these recipients are recognized for receiving an average score of at least 3.25 on all AP exams taken and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. Elsie Decker, Ella King, Carlo Perino, Dylan Portier, Marco Rivera, the next level is AP Scholar with Distinction, granted to students who receive an average score of at least 3.5 on all AP exams taken and scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams. We are recognizing Thomas Gane, Autumn Mungaray, Camila Romo, Sofia Ruiz McGinty, Ines Van Kraling, and our last recognition is tied to the AP Capstone program. So we are recognizing students that have received a score of 3 or higher on both the AP Seminar and the AP Research courses. We have to recognize Tristan Azar, Kat Clement, Jalen Henry, Autumn Mungaray, Alexandra Murray, and Stephanie Torres. So we are very proud of our students' accomplishments, and again, we're looking forward to those that are currently juniors, and actually the seniors, though, will be able to, when they take their AP exams this year, reach other levels of recognition.
Wonderful
So-
job.
You're gonna have to give them a picture. Yeah, if we can move, yeah.
God Hop in there, ready? Aaron?
Parent, you can come take a picture. Come on, bye.
Everybody can just.
Can we get everybody away? It's gonna be challenging, but we can do this.
Panorama, let's go.
Okay, oops, I'm sorry. All right, are you all ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right. My mom and dad and
Any parents can also email me if they would like the photo that I took. Yeah.
It's easier. I'll just email you.
Yes, I'll send it to Principal Diaz.
So much easier. So much easier. I just start to put L and it just pops up. I
Okay. Award the extra awards end up, my friend, because some of the students are taking some of them. So, Mr. Marius? Okay. Okay, so Mr. Marius, why don't we go slide some of them over? Like he told me he's going to. Okay.
Well, she's not here, so Valea. She's been hours thinking that. All right, Assistant Principal Valea, you're back at the podium. You've got one more.
You all worked really hard.
It's like, what am I doing now? Congratulations again. What amazing students and I can't even imagine all the hundreds or thousands of hours of work that went into to those achievements. Bravo. Well done. Okay. Now I think there's a video with this one. We're going to hear about the Caring High School Climate Asset Champion recognition. Thank you, thank you. This is very exciting times. It's the most wonderful time of year. I mean, I love Christmas, but I love end-of-year celebrations of our students in schools and the great stuff they're doing. It's amazing. Go ahead and roll the video, yeah? Or did you want to say something? Okay. Assistant Principal Valea, would you like to say any words about the Asset Champion
Oh, sorry.
Award?
I thought you were going to play the video first. I'm so sorry.
I did too, but we're figuring this out real time.
Well, the Morgan Hill Unified School District is pleased to recognize Ann Sobrado High School for being selected as YMCA Project Cornerstone Asset Champion for Caring High School Climate. The programs highlighted in this award were the CARE, which is Coordinated Advocacy and Resources for Education, Freshman Success, and the Climate and Culture team. Thank you to my team for always being highly dedicated to our students and thoughtful and reflective around ways to support our students and families. We are extremely proud of our students and families and proud to be a part of the staff of the Ann Sobrado High School community.
Well done. Thank you. Perfect.
I can't hear that yet.
hear better with the lights off? I think somebody bumped. Go back.
Opened 20 years ago. The staff that opened this high school, we opened with 9th and 10th graders, really wanted to start a high school and a culture and climate that was different than other high schools. We wanted it to be a safe, caring community that supported students, had high rigor, and really helped students meet their goals and dreams. So
it has a lot of really good programs in different classes. Like FFA, you wouldn't get that in the city. I feel like everybody's a lot closer. Everybody knows everyone else, like everybody knows each other, everybody's familiar with each other.
No importa de dónde eres o de qué país eres, todos son amigos entre unos a los otros.
A freshman success coach helps the 9th graders transition from middle school to high school. We go over grades, we do life skills, we talk about organization, and just how they can be set up for success for the rest of their high school career.
The freshman success program helped me a lot. I got to know a lot of people. I've made actually new friends, and I met a lot of teachers that I did not know, like later on it'll be helpful to know.
I feel like making that connection with not only Bree, but with so many other teachers and so many other counselors, just having so many people that you can go to just makes your experience so much better. And I feel like the freshman success team just helped me overall.
My mother is a single mom, and we've been through many hardships. My sister's in university right now, so my mom is working 2 jobs.
CARE is a program that helps the most vulnerable students and families here at Sobrado, actually district-wide, provide resources and anything really needed to help them get the fair, equitable education that any student deserves.
The CARE program has positively impacted my life.
Thank you, Project Cornerstone.
Go Bulldogs.
Wonderful, thank you. Any last words?
Thank you.
Other than you'd ready to go home now?
No, actually, I need to correct myself. There was someone here that I didn't realize that she was here, and I didn't get to read her name from an earlier recognition.
Please.
Can I do that now?
Of course.
Okay,
Absolutely.
great. So she received the College Board National Recognition Program for being a first-generation scholar. Please welcome to the podium, Kaylin Nguyen.
Group hug, group hug.
Turn off the lights and mirrors. Great job.
All right.
I don't know them.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2. Closer. 3.
Thank you.
I would like to add that these YMCA awards are very competitive, and they're on a county-wide level. And so, on behalf of all of us, we want to congratulate Sobrado High School for its award, and we are incredibly proud of the entire team, how the entire team coalesces around supporting student needs. So, congratulations, Sobrado.
Thank you.
Beautifully done. Okay, thank you. That was wonderful. Now move on to E5, Los Paseos Elementary. Principal Sutton, take it away. No rolling desk tonight?
Good thing I wore my glasses. Good evening, trustees and superintendents. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm so excited to talk about the amazing things we have going on at Los Paseos, especially after a night of honoring these incredible high school accomplishments, because we set the foundation, and I am so proud to do that work. So tonight we get to share a little bit of the great things we're doing. Just to introduce, so you know who's with me right now. This is Mr. Brian Phillips, our incredible wellness counselor. I couldn't do my job without him. And this is my amazing Home and School Club president, Julie Rodriguez, who funds so many of the amazing programs we're going to talk about tonight. Next slide. So just a little bit about Los Paseos. We have about 422 students. Enrollment kind of always hovers. 4% of our students are represented by our very special and amazing SDC preschool program, something exciting and interesting. It's always amazing to learn from our littlest learners. If you ever having a bad day, SDC preschool is the place to go to leave with a smile. We have about 9% of our students in TK, 11 in kinder, 12 in first, 15 in second, 14% in third, 16% in fourth, and 18% of our students in fifth grade. You can see some of our demographics up here for us. If you look at our dashboard, you'll see a little difference in our English learners. We're actually right about at 18% of our student population are emergent bilinguals, so gaining that second language proficiency in English. We have about 14% of our students are identified as having an IEP. 13% are our homeless and foster youth. Students that are economically disadvantaged is actually right about 44% according to the dashboard. So our numbers are constantly changing, and you can see some of our disaggregated data down there. I'm very proud of the fact that at Los Paseos, we actually have a very diverse student population, something that you don't always see at every public school, but we have it, and it's beautiful. Next slide. Our dedicated, amazing staff, you can see some of us in that top photo up there. We are a single admin school, but it is not a one-lady show. We are all equal partners. This is a co-labor of love, and I'm really proud of our incredible staff. You can see some of those positions up there. Definitely want to shout out our high-achieving staff as well. We've got about 16 staff members with master's degrees. Mr. Brian is one that holds 2, so we're very proud of our continuous journey through education as a staff. Next slide. So one of our SIPSA goals is our college and career readiness. So at Los Paseos, we wanted to see that our percentage of students at or above grade level in iReady for both ELA and math gained at least a 5% increase by June 2025. So a goal I'm happy to say we're not only right on track to meet, but exceed. If you go to our next slide, you can see some of that data spread for you. And since my vision is slowly going, I have my color coding right here for you. If you look to our ELA data, that's the chart to the left, you'll see that the green metric represents students that have already met their annual typical growth for iReady reading. Red represents students that have actually already met their annual stretch growth. So that's a demographic of students that iReady said, for them to be successful in the CASP testing, they'd have to make this exceptional growth, and those students in the red on the left have already achieved that stretch goal. So that's incredible to see. And then the students represented in the orange are students that have already improved at least one placement level. So this is from our August baseline data to our December data, and we'll be taking this assessment one more time at the end of the year. And if you look to the right, you see our math growth, very similar trajectory. Blue represents students that have already met their typical growth goals for the year. Orange represents students that have met their annual stretch growth. And the green data represents students that have already improved one placement. I'm really proud of our math data. It is an area we had more growth available to us, and we're achieving that. We're working really hard as a school to not do too many things and to really focus on improving our math practices, specifically in our TK through third grade. We know that when those gaps exist there, they continue and widen. So we're really working hard, and it's exciting to see those gaps already closing. So we're very proud of that. We're on track for our goals. Some of the ways we've done that are data chats. We're a very data-driven school. When I first came to Los Paseos, I think that there was a little trauma with the No Child Left Behind movement, and I've gotten my teachers to now remember that they love data. We celebrate it asset-driven. We're looking at all the amazing places they've gone through their strong instruction. We have a great Universal Design for Learning partnership, and we're working with the California Coalition for Inclusive Learning. We've also been working hard in math with our PK3 coherence collaboration with California Ed Partners, with our El Toro teammates. It's been really awesome to have some cross-site articulation as well. We've gotten to observe them and they come to us. So not only are we learning from each other, but we're learning from our coworkers at El Toro. We've increased our PLTs. We have daily number talks as a non-negotiable that we live by at Los Paseos. If you ever want to see a great number talk, come on by. We have a staff and parent book study going on right now with counting collections and choral counting. So not only are we taking the learning from our PDs, but we're bringing it to our parents. Only 2 bought the book this time, but we're hoping that increases, and it's fun to be able to talk to them about counting collections. And then we're meeting students' social emotional needs. I talk about that while we talk about data, because if they're not ready to learn, they can't be successful. So we know how important that work is with wellness as well for our academic rigor. Next slide. Our second goal, parent engagement. Obviously, we are very engaged with our parents. So this SIPSA goal is that by June 2025, every grade level will host at least one opportunity for parents to participate in one or more learning or enrichment activity, as measured by event attendance. So this is not just go to open house, increase back to school night numbers. This is get into a classroom and see your students writing. Come to one of our amazing learners fairs. I don't know if you've ever been to a Los Paseos Learners Fair, but they're a special place where you get to see our 5th grade students' mastery in whatever they're interested in. One of my favorite projects was a student presenting about nothing, where she examined the space between everything and does nothing even exist? And it was an incredible, incredible thought. And I'm like, they're in 5th grade. So our teachers really foster that learning. Julie, do you want to add anything to this slide now?
Oh, just the events that we have at our school that we've brought the past few years after COVID. It was kind of eventless. And so every year we bring more events. This year we brought our school dance in. We also partner with local community in regards to, there's a Jamba Juice competition where we get people to go to Jamba Juice, and then if we win, we get $500. Our spring festival is coming up, and we work with local vendors who sell at our events. We have pony rides there, so they come from actually the San Jose Flea Market and give us a discount for the pony rides. And I just year over year trying to bring in more and also work with the community as well.
Yeah, Trunk or Treat. Julie's very humble. She does a great job at partnering with community, and we make sure that all of our big events are free. Yes. So parents don't have to pay to come. We want them, they give a lot. We know schools are publicly funded and funded by our parents and donations. And so we appreciate them, and we want to make sure that we give back through that funding. And so Julie does a good job to make sure there's a lot of opportunities to just get together and have fun with parents. Some of our data related goals, you can see one for each grade level. We have our publishing parties and our kinder math mornings. We had a really incredible cultural fair in our 2nd grade classrooms this year, where they did lineage tracking, and then parents came in and brought food, and the kids brought something that represented their culture. More publishing parties, 4th grade Gold Rush Day, a learners fair. And one thing we're really proud of at Los Paseos, if you look at that very bottom right photo, is our nature club. So every Saturday, one Saturday a month, a teacher hosts nature walks that I know lots of parents and staff participate in. They're free, and all members of our community are invited, and parents from Martin Murphy come back all the time to continue to go on our nature walks with us. And we get to explore the entire Bay Area and learn how it's all connected to our watershed, and how pollution is connected to our watershed, and it all comes back to the classroom. We're actually embarking in our first ever camping trip this summer as a Los Paseos community, so that will also be really fun. If you can't tell, we like each other over there. Next slide. So some of those school actions, we have a monthly newsletter that kind of says it all, and Julie and I kind of text back and forth to make sure we haven't missed anything. We have regular Parent Square communication. I'm sorry about that. We try to give adequate notice for our events. We have an amazing Home and School Club website that Julie's designed, which has even more events so that we don't have to inundate parents and Parent Square. They can go to this great resource and see it all, calendar updates. Strong partnerships, our math nights hosted by the Julia Robinson Foundation, which are amazing. School site council and ELAC, we're small but mighty. Our parents that come have amazing insight and great ideas and make us richer. Our weekend nature walks, and again, those coffee with the principals, they always know where to find me. If I'm not there, I'm in the front of the school or in the front office or doing yard duty or subbing, so I'm always somewhere. Next slide. Again, the reason we continue to get better is our continuous cycles of improvement through our PLTs, our professional learning teams. They get to meet daily for 45 minutes, 4 times a week. And then Wednesdays, we have our staff meetings that, again, are math focused. We keep that clear consistency so that we really get better. We collaborate consistently, we focus on student learning, we use data-driven decisions, we foster a culture of continuous improvement, and we really ensure accountability and shared responsibility. We have come to they're our students, not my students, and we're very proud of that. We have teachers literally popping across the hall sometimes, taking over each other's classrooms just because they're all ours, and if someone needs them, we're there. It's pretty amazing. I'm very proud of these incredible people that work at Los Paseos, if you can't tell. Next slide. All right, student engagement. I've talked a lot, so I'm going to let my right-hand man talk a little bit about the amazing things we're doing in engagement, attendance, and PBIS.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian. I am one of the wellness counselors for our district and currently the wellness counselor at Los Paseos. A few things that we have going on at our school with student engagement are, can you guys hear me? Oh, okay. We do check-ins with students. So like if students are, I don't know, kind of having like up and down days with behavior or maybe some things going on at home, we always try to check in with them before they start their school day, asking them how could we set them up for success for the day if they need to take breaks or anything. One of, not to have like favorites or anything, but one of my favorite parts of the student engagement list here is called buddies. So like if you have upperclassmen, so we're in an elementary school, K through 5th. But if you have like upperclassmen, 4th or 5th grade, they might have a buddy as little as 1st and 2nd grade. And, they do like different things with them on campus. So like they'll go to the playground with them, hold their hand, watch them on the slide, read a book to them, kind of mentor that example of a role model, which is kind of neat because when the little buddy grows up to be the big buddy, they could be a buddy for another little buddy. It's kind of like full circle. It's kind of neat. Nobody else liked that? I thought that was amazing. Anyway, we do, thank you, Julie. I'm just kidding, by the way. We do great things also with attendance, checking in with parents, making sure our numbers are good in Aries. I'm out March Madness, yes. So recently we just did a March Madness challenge where all the students had to take like an attendance challenge for the month of March, and the classroom that did the best with attendance gets to play the staff in a friendly recreational basketball game on Friday. So Dr. Garcia, there might be a lot of workman comp paperwork for injuries, but you heard it here first. I am also a proud member of the PBIS team. That's actually a really, really effective team on our campus that helps with all the tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 supports, behaviors, structured recesses, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm glad that you all are here, and thank you for your time.
Amazing job, Mr. Bryan. Just a couple other things to highlight are Mr. Bryan's wellness groups. One thing that's really amazing to do, again, back to data, is to look at data and then actually do something about it. So if we see a similar commonality happening on campus, we form a social group, and Mr. Bryan really responds to those things. We don't really believe in punitive. We want to teach kids to be better. It doesn't make a big difference to send them home for a week, but it makes a big difference to put them in a social group for 5 weeks and solve that problem. So we're really proud of that. Also, our community partnership with Playlosophy. We have structured sports for all of our students every single day at lunch and recess. We have things like hockey. We currently have a pickleball turning out. Right now, they got to do trading cards and photos. It's pretty fun to watch. We just try to keep these kids so busy at school that there's no time to do anything else but learn and have fun. Next slide. And then some of our awesome clubs, I couldn't even fit them all on one page. Again, this is because teachers step up and do it. This doesn't just happen. So I want to highlight their hard work. And some of our great partnerships like karate, for example, we give karate to every single grade level for 2 weeks and it's free. We partner with the local dojo. Miss Samantha's incredible. You can see every kid breaks a board the last day and it is the highlight of their year always. So it's really nice to bring that back. We have a youth, we have 2 youth. We have a youth PBIS team that responds specifically to new needs on campus, and then we have a spirit squad that runs assembly. So every month we have a spirit squad assembly, and they highlight a different character trait. So those are really fun and all student-led. They do a chant, they do a skit, parents come, and we give out our awards. Playlosophy also gives out awards, but you can see them down there. Again, our great sports. We have Expect Respect run by Mr. Bryan and Miss Cabrera. They do an amazing job really tapping into our kids' needs, and they form this great club. We have Dreams Club that is do good, reading, engineering, art, math, and science. I think it's a club that's formed into so many different clubs. They knit, they build, they make robots, they read poetry. They do everything in that club. It's pretty amazing. We have our Battle of the Book Club, no big deal, reigning champs. So we're working really hard to keep that title. We have a Games and Craft Club run by Mrs. Mock. We have a nature, again, our nature club. And that is just a parent favorite too, because they enjoy that connection. Not all of our parents had access to nature and know and understand how to navigate that. So it's helpful to have someone that helps you understand how to get those permits and meet at a trailhead and read a trail and really bring nature to our community. So it's amazing. And then one more parent engagement slide. Here's some of the amazing things we do. Again, funded by our amazing Home and School Club. We've got field trips, trunk or treat, school site council. Anything else you want to add? I don't know. Julie also partnered with a local community agency to give us a new swag reboot. So we have all new Los Paseos gear. One of our parents, shout out to you if you're watching. They do an amazing job making all of our spirit wear so that our kids not only shine, but feel very proud to be Panthers every day. So, and Lucky's, we are partners. Julie again did that with Lucky's, the grocery store. So they donate a lot of food to our event. They sponsor our events. They also allow us to do fundraising in front of that because we have that community partnership. They donate things to all of our events. Read Across America was also donated by our Lucky sponsors. So it's a great partnership to have. And they do field trips for us and talk about nutrition with our kids, and it's close, so it's walkable. And yeah, we're doing a lot of great things. Adjourned. Thank you.
That's supposed to be my line, but I like it better when you say it, so it's good. Any questions or comments, colleagues? Please.
I'm a Los Paseos family member, and I just want to say I'm so proud of all the work that you have all been doing. Ms. Sutton, you've been wonderful, and we're so lucky to have you, as well as the rest of the staff and the team.
They're
so thank you.
Go team. Thank you.
Who else? Trustee Munson, please.
I'll go.
Then we'll come.
I just love to see all the stuff that you guys are doing. It's amazing. And then the enthusiasm from all the staff, because not only you guys, but everybody else that I've met, they're very involved. They buy in, and it's just amazing. And I'm so proud because I went to school there and I voted on the first mascot, which was the pandas.
We
used to
are
be the
in
pandas.
negotiations. We like pandas.
Used to be the pandas, but also the buddies. I do buddies too. I teach kinder. So yes, they go around, right? So I'm with you on that. But it's amazing to see your guys' just what you've done there and where you've taken it and where it's going to go. So thank you.
Go team, go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Student Board Member Faruqi, did you have?
I just want to say, I love the idea of nature walks. I feel like that is such an original and creative thing for schools to do, because I feel like kids always want to be outside the classroom. They always want to go do something, and especially with nature walks, I feel like that is such a good way for kids to go outside, go look around, and especially be more environmentally aware, and raising that kind of environmental knowledge and logic early on can really make them more empathetic to other environmental issues. So I feel and there's also nature walks are so accessible, and they're free. You guys have them free, so I think that's really amazing that you guys do that.
I think thing too is we encourage our fifth graders to go on that because it helps them get ready for science camp by being outside. And so not only is it for the whole school, by the fifth graders, like kind of pushing them to do it, it really gets them like, oh, okay, this is what it's all about.
Our fifth grade classes also do a nature walk every Wednesday, and they also pick up trash on the way, and we've picked up tens of thousands of pieces to make our Los Paseos community clear. Go Miss Charson, she runs those, she's amazing, amazing.
Anyone else want to go?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Mr. Bryan, I love your idea of the buddies. So important. And I think it's important because we're seeing this trend of kids feeling lonely and isolated and not having friends. And your idea, the buddy system and the social groups, what a concept to just, you're seeing a problem and so much of it could just be with that human connection. So I'm just so impressed with everything I've seen tonight. You guys are just doing a great job. And it's clear that you've built a connected community up there. So thank you.
On the buddy note, I will say Mr. Cuevas and I also started when he's at Murphy. He's now at Walsh, yay Walsh. But we do have the Martin Murphy mentors still going on too. So the Murphy students come to us 2 days a week and they also mentor our older students and support in specials, and it's awesome.
So, I'll just make a brief thank you comment. I'm sure I'm not smarter than a fifth grader, but I kind of want to be one. It sounds like a lot of fun being a student at your school and for the family. So thank you not only for the educational rigor you started with, but the community and all the elements you're pulling together. It's very impressive, and I look forward to our next visit. Dr. Garcia, please.
Dr. Sutton and team, can you come back for a second?
So awkward.
More words, yes. I want to congratulate the Los Paseos team. You recently revised your mission statement. Can you share with everyone what that is?
Yeah, it's simple and we really live it authentically because it's simple. So it's a joyful learning community for all. And we're dedicated to that. So we built that with a professional and we live it, breathe it. Some of our teachers have turned it into stamps, and it's really what we try to do every day. Our teachers should be joyful, our staff should be joyful, and that radiates out to our kids. And it's paying off.
And you can feel that energy when you walk onto the campus. And also, I don't know, Dr. Sutton, if you heard what President Horner said initially right before you started. No mobile desk?
No, the mobile desk is back now that the weather's better. Yeah, so I'm still out there, but the mobile desk is back.
Dr. Sutton is on the go. She is never in her office, and she literally has a mobile desk. So think of the podium that has wheels. She's out there. She has her laptop and your walkie-talkie.
It's got
and
a sunshade and everything.
it has a sunshade. Yes, absolutely. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you for creating a collective efficacy, and thank you for loving and focusing on our students. So I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, and thank you, trustees.
Yeah. That was the kind of inside joke when welcomed her here. Didn't recognize her without the mobile desk. It's a wonderful signature item. Okay. Well, that concludes our presentations and recognitions. What a fun thing we got to do. Now on area G, approval of minutes. Is Trustee Altman still with us on Zoom, or? No, we lost her. Okay, so then we can do these by just the traditional vote. So do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the March 4th meeting?
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Munson. A second?
A second.
Thank you, Trustee Marquez. All in favor, or sorry, student board member? Aye. All that is in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Seeing none, that passes unanimously by those present. Area 2, same thing. Approve minutes from the special board meeting, board retreat of March 5th. Do we have a motion on that one?
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Munson. A second? Somebody? Okay, thank you, Clerk Northrop Gaddis. A student board member, sorry. These are so exciting. I know you went away and please. Aye, thank you. Other trustees, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Hearing none, we'll move on to approving minutes from the special board meeting themed study session of March 18th. Do we have a motion? Thank you, Vice President Andrade. Do we have a second?
A second.
Thank you, Trustee Munson. Student board member? Aye. Other trustees? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Hearing none, that passes unanimously. Okay. We will now move on to public comment on items not on the agenda. I have, okay, good, we do have the, I saw our FFA team here and I didn't see, but I had to go to the next page of the notes. I wanted to make sure I had it. Okay. So we do have 11 requests for public comment on items not on the agenda. Members of the public may address the board on any topics not on the agenda. However, the board may not discuss issues raised as they are not listed on the agenda. Topics not on the agenda brought to the board's attention may be investigated by the administration and reported to the board publicly or privately in future. Comments by visitors shall not exceed 3 minutes. In this case, with 11 people actually under our bylaws, we could shorten that. I'm not going to, but I'll ask you, if we have multiple speakers on a topic, please keep it concise. And if you're like, what he said, plus one, or just to in the interest of time. But we will start with Ingar Wang. Mr. Wang, good to see you. We have our little clock going there. We have our clock on a phone. All right. Our little on-screen clock isn't working, but we'll let you know. So please go ahead.
Sounds good. Thank you. Good evening, trustees and guests. My name is Ingar Wang, and I'm an English teacher at Live Oak High School. Like some of my other colleagues here this evening, I'm speaking on the state of our classroom desks at Live Oak. In late 2022, the Building Equitable Learning Environments, or BEL network, was founded through a collaboration between Sobrato Live Oak and district leadership. This network brought together students at both school sites who met regularly to discuss, advocate, and plan for equitable changes at school that students wanted to see. It was truly uplifting getting to work with these students to help them build the capacity to advocate and bring positive change to their school environment, an environment that had come out of COVID lockdown with some particularly difficult challenges. It is now equally disheartening to see that one of the most important changes that our amazing students advocated for, to have new and modern desks in the classroom, has still not come to fruition. As you will hear from my colleagues, Live Oak's desks are difficult to use, covered in vandalism, poorly sized for students who are larger and taller than the average high schooler, and broken in all kinds of ways. At least once every couple of years, I'll have an incident where a student sits in a desk that simply gives way and breaks because it's older than they are and should have been replaced years ago. I've heard multiple times from parents who visit my classroom that they recognize my patchwork of mismatched seats as ones they themselves sat in when they attended school at Live Oak. I will have students come into class and move desks around or argue with each other over who gets a specific desk because they do not want to sit in a particularly undesirable one. In other words, one of the most basic necessities of a successful and functional classroom has been taken for granted, and our students are suffering the consequences. The vision statements of Morgan Hill Unified and Live Oak both reference a desire to produce students who are thinkers, leaders, and valuable participants in the 21st century. To hold this expectation of our students while continuing to house them in 20th century facilities goes against this vision. I urge you to please prioritize bringing new desks to Live Oak's classrooms so that we can model the 21st century environment that we want our students to thrive in. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, invite up Gina Giovanetti. Did I say that correctly? Yes. Okay, thank you. If I'm wrong, please set me straight.
No, it's Giovanetti. Thank you.
Giovanetti, thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Gina Giovanetti, and some of you may remember seeing me here before, and that I have the honor and privilege of working in the English department at the Live Oak High School. This is my 4th year teaching and my 4th year at Live Oak in room 902. And for 3 of those 4 years, I've had the opportunity to teach multiple sections of inclusion English classes, where up to 1/3 of the students have documented learning plans, often requiring extra help or intervention. But Ms. G, you may ask, what does this have to do with facilities? Part of being an inclusion teacher means that I'm taken out of my classroom multiple times per year for professional development that constantly conveys that an environment conducive to learning is one of the best chances of success for all students, but especially those scheduled for inclusion classes. We teachers are consistently told that the learning environment needs to be inclusive, welcoming, flexible, and accommodating, give students the opportunity to work in small groups or collaboration. But the current state of our desks is restrictive, exclusionary, uncomfortable, outdated, and the mismatched sizing and structure of the desks makes it nearly impossible to successfully incorporate these collaborative models. Within the last few years, many of us MHUSD teachers were given the chance to hear Dr. Luis Cruz speak during a professional development day, where he explained that it is our job to guide students to hitting a home run academically. But that day, I found myself wondering, how is it possible when their basic psychological, safety, belonging, and self-esteem needs are being neglected by their learning environments? I understand that our district is facing a budget deficit, and I have attended board and community meetings discussing that issue. But I urge the district and the board to find a way to demonstrate their willingness to give students that home run opportunity by ensuring that their most basic needs, the places they sit for multiple hours per day, are met. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I invite up Tracy Clevenger.
Good evening. My name is Tracy Clevenger, and I am a sixth grade teacher at JAM. I am speaking to you today not only as an educator but in this district, but also as a parent of two young children. One is in kindergarten and one is in first grade, both of whom are currently attending JAM. For the past 3 years, my family has faced the uncertainty of whether or not my children will be able to attend the school where I teach. This recurring stress has placed a significant strain on our family. Once again, I'm faced in a difficult position. While my eldest son has been accepted for the 2025-2026 school year, my younger son is number 17 on the wait list for first grade. This is the last possible spot on the list, despite attending kindergarten this year. I was under the impression that once admitted under the Allen Bill Act, a student should not be displaced by another transfer, whether within or without the district. I thought, according to the California Ed Code 48204B, Section 8, that once a pupil is enrolled in a school in a district within the boundaries of which include the location where at least one parent or legal guardian of a pupil is physically employed, the pupil does not have to reapply in the next school year to attend a school within the district, and the governing board of the school district shall allow the pupil to attend school through grade 12. I believe the intent behind this provision is clear. It is to support families and educators by keeping them connected to the communities that they serve. Having my children attend the same school where I work brought multiple benefits, not just to my family, but to JAM and to MHUSD as a whole. I am able to dedicate more time before and after school to lesson planning. I don't need to commute to another site for pickup and drop off. My family and work schedules align, leading to fewer teacher absences. I'm more available to collaborate with colleagues and participate in school events. When the staff is allowed to enroll their children at their work site, it strengthens teacher retention. I am a tenured teacher with 9 years of teaching experience. 6 of those proudly have been spent at JAM. My children have excellent attendance. They feel at home in the JAM community, and they are thriving. I have poured my heart into this school and I want nothing more to remain as part of this district. But the emotional and logistical toll of potentially splitting up my family or uprooting my children may leave me with no other option than to leave. I understand that the waitlists are across the district, but the waitlist at JAM is notably longer than the other sites, and it impacts our staff. I am not alone. I'm not the only one who has a child at the bottom of waitlist for next year. There are other JAM teachers who also live outside the district facing the same uncertainty with their children's enrollment, and like me, they are devoted educators who want to stay at JAM, but may be forced to seek employment elsewhere if this is not resolved. The impact of this situation extends beyond my own family. It risks the loss of multiple experienced teachers from our community. I feel as though my family is being pushed out of a community that we are invested in, a community that we love, and that is incredibly hard to accept. I am grateful for your time and consideration that you've given my concerns, and I thank you again for listening.
Thank you. Next we'll invite to speak QA Nguyen. QA? I'm sorry?
I will exhibit. Yes, please. There's 10, there's 25, but I get it down. Good evening. Hi, Miriam. I'm a big fan, so. My name is QA Nguyen, and I have worked at the Live Oak High School for 11 years now. That's 11 years of teaching in the same classroom, 11 years of structured student talk, forcing kids to collaborate, read, and critically think for themselves, and 11 years of teaching a lot of the students that were honored behind me today. 11 years of also correcting the community and families from saying those students and that school to our students and our school. So as you know, Live Oak High School is a Title I school, 67% Hispanic population, over 50% free and reduced lunch, 16% English language learners, 10% McKinney Bento, and 14% special education. These students our students deserve the best in facilities and classrooms. So that's why I'm here today, to ask and improve the board trustees and the executive cabinet to finish the process of giving us new desks and tables at Live Oak High School. Maybe desks that don't call me a slur every day going to class would be nice. To see and hear the facilities report last board meeting without any imminent update on our desks is a little disheartening. If you didn't know, some of our student leaders 2 years ago, along with our administration team, Jillian Ray, and I, started the process of piloting desks. 2 years ago, and 3 assistant superintendent businesses later, the priority of getting Live Oak new desks has been seemingly forgotten. I can forward you email chains, piloting programs, and even costs. Our desks are from the 1980s, some are from the 1950s. So you have alumni sitting here who are parents. You can guarantee that your kids might sit in the same desk that you have been. They're hard to get in and out of for adults and for kids. They're filled with hate speech, slurs, gang proclamations. They're fatphobic, they're lopsided, they're broken. Live Oak cannot wait for a bond measure that might not come through. I understand that the district is in a budget deficit. I sat on the budget advisory committee and the district's budget committee, but I also know that the district can create priorities with guidance and direction from the board. Our desks are not conducive to collaborating and our learning, but we make do, as Board Vice President Veronica Andrade knows, as she sat in those same desks during a workshop that Jillian Ingar and I ran. On a ridiculous note, I was going to borrow a desk and put it in my car and have Fernando Camargo try to sit in it and then get up out of it, just as a demonstration, but I was recommended against it from our administrators. But I have the video, so if you have my email, I can forward it to you, just to show you, okay? But alas, but I urge you please to make this one a priority for our students at Live Oak. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, our fifth speaker, Denise Listle.
Take one of us.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm here to bring your attention to an issue I believe will adversely affect the Jackson Academy of Math and Music. I have been a teacher in MHUSD for 21 years, and the last 13 I have taught at JAM in both 7th and 8th grades. I am very proud of the middle school program we built and the strong community it has become. It is a great place to work, as evidenced by the fact that most of our middle school teachers have been at JAM for more than 8 years. However, I am now afraid we will lose some of these experienced and well-respected teachers because of the district's enrollment policy. 2 children of our teachers at JAM have been denied enrollment at our school for next year, even though they are currently attending JAM in kindergarten. I don't understand the logic behind this practice. One of the main reasons why we become teachers is so our schedules can match with our very own children. There are a lot of benefits for the students, teacher parents, and school community when teachers have their children at the site where they work. I get it, JAM is a high-demand school. It is a high-demand school partly because of the great teaching staff. To keep it a great school, teachers' kids need to be a high priority so teachers will stay. I also understand these particular teachers live outside of the school district. However, under the Allen Bill, they are entitled to have their children attend a school in the district where they work if there is room. There is room within the district, and the school board can make it so these children are also a priority at the site where the parent works. According to California Ed Code, which is what I've been passing down, school districts can prioritize teachers' kids over inter-district transfers, and enrollment priority should be given to siblings or currently enrolled students. Both of the students in question are dead last on the wait list, even though they are already attend JAM, and one has a brother there. I cannot speak for the teachers affected, but I would not stay in the district if I could not have my young children at the site where I teach. The cost of daycare and stress of transportation would be enough to send me to another district. For a district that says one of its goals is to attract and retain highly qualified teachers, this works against that. One of the teachers affected has been teaching 6th grade at JAM for 6 years. It would be a great loss if she were to leave. Next year, we have other tenured teachers at JAM that are hoping to get their own kids into kindergarten. Are we going to lose them too? The board has the power to set enrollment policies. Please make teachers a priority. It is for the benefit of all.
Thank you. Our sixth speaker is David Barclay. Mr. Barclay?
Good evening. My name is David Barclay, and I'm a third-year teacher working my third year at Live Oak High School, and I want to talk to you about the major struggle I have with desks in my classroom. I'm one of the newest English teachers on the campus, and when I first arrived at Live Oak, I found that my room was filled with mismatched desks that seemed to be in various states of disrepair. My first year, I spent much of my downtime tracking down replacements and lining up fixes for desks that seemed to be just barely holding themselves together. Custodial and I did what we could, but ultimately I had to take what I found. The worst problem is the graffiti that can be found on a large amount of these desks. I'm currently in the middle of teaching my students about the Holocaust, stressing the impact that hate speech has on the population, all the while they are sitting in desks that have had hate speech carved into them for years now. I need you to understand I really did try to find replacements, knowing exactly what kind of impact that it could have on our minority students. But I was told time and time again that there are no replacements. Any replacement desk that could be found was in as bad shape or worse than what I already had. One of my worst moments as a newer teacher was during this Holocaust unit, when one of my few Jewish students in my class pointed out to me that her desk had a swastika and other slurs carved on it. She asked if it was going to be replaced, and I had to tell her the truth. I had to tell her that as much as I wanted a replacement, that no replacement was coming, that there was not going to be any fix, and the best I can do was to move her to a new seat. That shouldn't have been the solution. Our facilities are one of the first ways we show students how much we care about them and their well-being. I worry what kind of message we are sending to the students of Live Oak about how much we care about them. Thank you.
Thank you. Our seventh speaker, Jamie Lee Lefevre. I'm sure I said that wrong. I'm sorry. Please set me straight.
Jamie Lee Lefevre.
Lefevre. Thank you very much.
Good
My
evening.
apologies.
I am a fifth grade teacher at JAM and the mother of 4 adult children, all of whom spent time in MHUSD following our move to California 10 years ago. I'm here tonight as both an educator and a parent to express my deep concern that the children of teachers currently working at our school and who are already enrolled this year have been placed on the wait list for next year. These are students, I knew that was going to happen. These are students who are already part of our community, who know our routines, our values, and who thrive because they are learning in the same place where their parents dedicate their time, energy, and care each day. By not giving enrollment preference to the children of our teachers, we are sending a message that we do not fully value the people who invest so much into our students and our school culture. This policy as it stands creates stress and uncertainty for families that doesn't need to exist. As someone who's personally experienced the benefits of having my own children at my school, I urge you to consider a policy change that would give enrollment preference to the children of teachers at their school sites. You have the power to fix this. Let's ensure our actions reflect the respect and support our teachers deserve. Thank you.
Our eighth scheduled speaker, Amanda Wilson Bergato. How did I do on your name? Okay, thank you.
Hello, I'm Amanda Wilson Borgato. I have 2 children at MHUSD schools. I'm in my 10th year as a JAM parent, my 3rd year as staff at JAM, and a proud member and site rep for NC, the Morgan Hill Classified Employees Association. I'm reading a letter by my son's teacher who couldn't be here today due to a family emergency. Here it is. Dear MHUSD board members, I'm writing to you as a proud MHUSD graduate, current parent, and dedicated teacher to express my deep concern regarding the district's policy that does not prioritize the enrollment of teachers' children at their school of employment. When my daughter started kindergarten in 2023, she was placed on a wait list to attend JAM, where I've taught for 7th grade for almost 11 years. Fortunately, she was eventually accepted, as were the children of several colleagues. We were led to believe that once a student was enrolled in a school like JAM, they would remain there throughout their entire academic journey, creating a continuous education. Unfortunately, that expectation has not held true. This year, multiple colleagues have had their children already attending JAM placed on the waitlist again. These students are already part of the JAM community. They have established friendships, routines, and a sense of belonging. Why are they being asked to start over? Many of us live outside of the district because of the high cost of living in Morgan Hill. Regardless of residency, our children deserve the stability of attending school where their parents teach. I have another daughter coming into the school system in the 2026-27 school year. Will she be accepted at JAM, where both her sister and I call home, or will we be faced with another round of uncertainty? The lack of a clear, reliable policy causes unnecessary stress and impacts our ability to plan for our family's needs. Each year that our children are waitlisted, we feel less valued and less supported. If our children cannot be with us, we are faced with added financial and logistical burdens. It has been my dream to teach in Morgan Hill. I love my students, my school, and this community deeply. But if I cannot count on consistent enrollment for my own children, I must question whether remaining in MHUSD is what's best for my family. The unfortunate reality is that failing to prioritize teachers' children may lead to the loss of experienced, passionate educators. I urge the board and district leadership to work together to establish a clear, written policy that ensures priority enrollment for teachers' children at their school of employment. I remain hopeful and committed to this community and look forward to a lasting solution. Sincerely, Casey Gillespie. Thank you.
Thank you. Our ninth speaker, Jillian Ray.
Good evening. My name is Jillian Ray, and I'm a teacher at Live Oak High School. In my 7 years here, I've taught in 4 different classrooms and have seen firsthand the variety of outdated and deteriorating furniture our students are expected to use. From tables with hate speech scratched into them to stools with hard exposed metal backs to uneven desks, much of the furniture that students use on a daily basis is not apt for learning. Many desks are broken, uncomfortable, and too small for some of our students. And these ill-fitting, fat-phobic desks can create a sense of shame for students who are simply trying to learn. Every time a student struggles to fit into their desk, every time they feel physically uncomfortable or embarrassed by the design of the classroom, they are faced with an environment that tells them they are not a priority. This should not happen. With this in mind, a student advocacy group working with admin managed to get the ball rolling on a new desk pilot, like QA mentioned. However, with the turnover at the district, that pilot seems to have fallen through the cracks. I still have students asking about the desk pilot who are disappointed but not surprised that this had fallen by the wayside, seemingly sending a message that student comfort and the learning environment is not a priority. I ask that you prioritize the learning environment of our students and invest in updating the furniture that has been neglected for far too long. Our students deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'll invite Stephanie Castillo. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie Castillo, and I'm a sophomore at Live Oak High School. I want to talk to you about the state of our desks, like my teachers have, and give you a clear view of what it's actually like to use the materials you give us. First, I want to say that most desks on campus cannot fit a teenager comfortably. It is a challenge to get into the seat because the material of the desk has started to give out, making them, as I said before, extremely uncomfortable to get out of. In addition, most desks have a pole that actively prevents you from getting in on either side of the desk. This makes it a problem if the teacher wants to make the desk into table groups, because if you want to get in, you have to pull the whole table apart. And this is just an experience for average students. We also have football players who cannot sit in their seat because their torso is being pressed against the top, which is again uncomfortable. And we're just getting in. Let me speak to you on actually using the desks. First of all, not all the desks have feet anymore, meaning we wobble when we're writing, because you may get a desk surface that is slanted, making your pencils, writing utensils, and crafting materials roll off your desk. And then the condition of the surfaces are pockmarked and graffitied from years of use. I was once drawing a landscape, coloring the desk, only to find out in the background I had a clear swastika and printed into my artwork. And this is common, and while it won't always be a hate symbol, it can be a large groove, maybe a shape, slurs, and other inappropriate messages. In closing, I would also like to mention these desks are incredibly fragile. Though we are actively told to stack them during active shooter drills, I have not experienced a drill in which a desk did not break in the process, only to never be replaced. These desks actively make learning that much more difficult, and we shouldn't have to worry or even think about the desks at all. They should just work, and right now, they don't. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll invite up Savannah Burnett and 4 other students with FFA. Where they go one, they go all.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Emily. I'm a senior at Live Oak High School. So sorry. Good evening. I'm Emily. I'm a senior at Live Oak High School. I'm also the vice president of the Morgan Hill FFA chapter.
Hi, my name is Abby Ellingson. I'm a junior at Live Oak High School, and I'm the event chair for the Morgan Hill FFA chapter.
Good evening. My name is Emma Jeffrey. I am a junior at Live Oak High School, and I am the Student Advisor Committee Chair, part of the Morgan Hill FFA Chapter Officer Team. And then my name is Addison Stychinsky. I am this year's reporter for Morgan Hill FFA Chapter. Future Farmers of America is an organization that is not just about raising livestock and honoring agriculture. It's about making dreamers, leaders, and achievers. Morgan Hill FFA has proudly been a part of Live Oak High School since 1929. Since then, we have had an ever-growing chapter of students who choose to enroll in any agricultural class, including veterinary science, both floral and advanced floral, agricultural biology, and soil chemistry. From these classes, students not only learn the basics, but also learn how to apply these skills to real life.
As members of the Morgan Hill FFA officer team, we are extremely proud to call this chapter our own, and we would like to extend an invitation to you all to offer your support. On behalf of Morgan Hill FFA, we are excited to announce that our annual spring auction is just around the corner. It will take place Friday, April 25th at the Gulielmo Winery.
This night is filled with pride and support of our FFA seniors from both Sobrato and Morgan Hill FFA chapters, who have proved their passion and commitment to the FFA organization and who deserve to be recognized for their determination as they continue down their paths to college. With your support attending this event, the proceeds from the auction items, which are carefully crafted for your enjoyment, will go to the scholarships dedicated to the seniors who have applied and are deserving of this great honor.
With that being said, we would love to formally invite you to our spring auction to enjoy the festivities as well as show your love for our seniors. Tickets are available via Venmo, which is attached to the back of the flyer that we have handed out. We cannot thank you enough for your time and consideration of supporting our wonderful seniors, and we hope to see you there on April 25th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry?
I'm part of them.
Oh, with FFA, very good.
I'm Chris Friebel, and
Yes,
I've
yes,
been
yes,
part
thank you.
of this 22nd year auction. It was started when Sobrato was being built, and our ag teacher, Vera Gomes, went over to Sobrato to start a chapter. We are very fortunate to have 2 chapters in our district. You can go to Gilroy, they have 1, but they have 2 high schools. So just a little, we have only 1 chapter left at the Campbell School in San Jose. So we are very fortunate. So we want to make sure you guys realize that this is a great event. It collaborates with both our Sobrato teachers represented and our Live Oak. And it's just a great event for the community, and the kids love it. And we're able to, this year we have 11 applicants from Sobrato, and we have 8 applicants from Live Oak. So we are super excited to be giving away some money. So please, come join us, okay?
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I believe that concludes public comment, correct? Yes, okay, very good. Student Board Member Faruqi, this is your time.
Okay. This is my update for April 8th. For Sobrato High School, they're having their spring musical on the 25th and the 26th. They had their senior Gravelin trip. All the high schools had their senior Gravelin trip, including Central, on the 3rd. They're hosting a blood drive for Red Cross on the 17th. And Swim and Dive had their senior night on the 2nd. From Live Oak, we have our prom this Saturday, and our spring rally is this Friday, according as well as this Gravelin trip. And we have our National Honor Society induction this Thursday, and the FFA spring auction, which was just mentioned right now. That's the 25th, guys. Britain Middle School, El Toro Elementary, they have their book fair from the April 7th to 11th. It's this week. They have their open house tomorrow, and their Battle of the Books competition. That's the April 23rd, and their spring fling is on April 25th. Central High School, the senior Gravelin trip, and Barrett is they had their parent university class on April 2nd, and they have a employment education fair this Thursday. Paradise Valley, they had their student wellness activity, which is positive self-talk, on April 4th, and they have their first tech challenge competition on April 25th and 26th. If you guys didn't know, first is like a elementary, middle, and high school level like robotics competitions. Like Live Oak currently has the first robotics, which is like the highest level for high school, and then some do it in college as well. And then for Nordstrom, they have their open house on the 24th. Los Paseos, they have their Sushi Confidential Family Night Out fundraiser from April 21st to April 25th. And they have their Donuts with Dudes, which is like every student with their dad, sibling, cousin, grandpa, uncle, whoever they want. In the morning before school, they have donuts on April 25th. And PA Walsh has their book fair on the last week of April. San Martin Gwen, they had their open house earlier this last week. They have a plant sale this week, and they had a parent workshop, which is Friendships Across Differences. That's the theme. It's on the 21st, and basically what it is that it's a workshop to teach parents like how to deal with students' relationships, friendships, student conflict, how to deal with conflict resolution, or if your kid's getting bullied, or maybe they're the one who might be causing trouble, like how to deal with that kind of stuff. And then they have their Red Robin fundraiser on Thursday. Martin Murphy also had their open house last week, and Jam has their open house on Thursday. And this Friday, they have their spring music concert. And then this is an update to the Student Advisory Council at Live Oak. We've had a few meetings over the last few months, but this is just kind of like a summary of like what most students I've found were talking about. A big thing that we went over was like the food and nutrition at Live Oak. We wanted to know things like the influence on the menu. Like a lot of kids don't know like anything about our food, or like why is it low-key kind of bad, or like it's like it has its downs and sometimes ups. And there's really crowded, uncontrolled lunch lines. And it's like there's only one place where if you want to get like just snacks, like water or just some chips, like it gets really crowded in there. Like most people don't even want to go in there. And so in our last meeting, which was just last week, we invited Michael Joshner. He's the director for the food and nutrition at MHUSD. This is his first time ever talking to students about what, about just food and nutrition. And what we found out from him was how students could influence the menu. And it's actually a lot easier than like what you think. All you have to do is just send them an email about what you want to see in the menu. So if you want to see like a really like nice home, like specific pasta or like home cooked meal that your parents cook, and you know the dish name, you can literally just email it to him, and you know they'll consider it as part of their future meals if they can just find like their one that fits within the guidelines. Because a lot of the time, like a lot of the stuff we eat at home is part of like, you know, the health guidelines, and it's good, you know. So it's not, because I guess like for context, like we literally had pizza with no sauce. It was just bread with cheese on it, and no, you know, it was terrible. But yeah, and then crowded and uncontrolled lunch lines. I think a lot of that was kind of was simplified down to just we don't have enough supervision. You know, because it's obviously the lunch ladies, they can't do that. They're busy and they're already like worked enough as it is. And, you know, Live Oak, I believe we're on a supervisor shortage. So that's kind of like, so what we proposed was to set up like kind of dividers. They could just be temporary ones, but at least ones that create like lines. So at least it's just not one big blob like circling around a window. But yeah. And then the next topic was how to get certain classes or like how to make available classes more popular. So like what I mean by that is like a lot of kids at Live Oak want welding, which is a class available at Sobrado. And so like a lot of students were wondering like, well, we want that class and Sobrado has it, how come we don't have it? And so we kind of like, it was more of a staff, so like a problem with staff, like, you know, the staff has to have credentials in order to teach the class, right? And so, we kind of discussed solutions and like limitations to what we could do. Like, of course, we have our construction teacher, and if you wanted to, you could try to convince him to take a welding certification, and then he could be a welding teacher, you know? So that's a solution we thought of for Mr. Goulart. And then how to make available classes more popular. What was really popular with that was AP Chemistry. Again, Sobrado has that and we don't, but the thing is we actually do have a teacher, we have 2 teachers with credentials to teach that class, yet it's still not available. And what our admin says is just because our counselors are saying, because there's just not enough students who are applying for it, yet I take like AP Calculus. AP Calculus has been around for like years, and there's only like 16 people in that class, and I know at least 16 people want to take AP Chem. So I guess we were kind of discussing like, why can nobody take that class? So we discussed like ways to promote it more, like, you know, discussing like, oh, have students who want to take that class go to like lower underclassmen classes, be like, hey, take this class, you know? I know the English department, they do that for AP Lang and AP Lit. And so, yeah. And then more college application opportunity awareness. A really unfortunate thing that happened this year was that a lot of students at our school were eligible for QuestBridge, and a lot of them didn't know that until it's too late. And so they missed out on opportunities like that. And I know, like for me, personally, I was not aware of some things for some of the colleges I applied to, and unfortunately, I didn't turn some stuff in until it was way too late. So I guess students at Live Oak really want to have more college application help beyond just FAFSA and CalSOAP and California Dream Act. It's just like, you know, all the scholarship or like even like money opportunities and like other things out there that are definitely available to these students. And, you know, it's really important, especially as a senior, junior, you know, to get those, to have knowledge of those. Especially because a lot of students here can't afford, you know, the full thing for college. Even with a Cal Grant and FAFSA, sometimes it's just too much even after that. So it's really important to make sure that we have access to those things. And what we kind of found as a solution, or at least like a proposed one for now, is just educating more on our academic counselors and just making sure that they're more in the loop about what these colleges, these popular colleges that, you know, at least some kids applied to, like what their requirements are, and like things like QuestBridge, letting kids know like, hey, you qualify for this and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all for my update.
Thank you. You've been very active. Appreciate it. Okay, superintendent's report is next.
Thank you so much, President Horner. Thank you, Student Board Member Faruqi, for elevating student voice, and we'll follow up on what you were describing. So I'd like to provide an update, and this is since March 18th, so just a few highlights since our last board meeting. I want to thank AAUW for their 41st Wildflower Run. It was held at the Live Oak High School, and it's my 4th year where I helped with parking, and this was the first year where I wasn't yelled at. So that's a total win. So thank you AAUW for all of the money and the windfall that our students are going to be benefiting. It's a pretty heavy lift for sure. Also, we have a pretty fantastic partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. So we met, the top picture is with the executive team from the Boys and Girls Club. We have a phenomenal before and after school program through our ELOP at apartment buildings in Morgan Hill, as well as the El Toro Center that's close to Walsh. But in addition to that, we've launched the Future Grads program. It's completely free. And that's the bottom picture. I was there a little bit late during that session, so most of the students had left. But essentially, the Future Grads program has a counselor. So you see the counselor at the end with the glasses. She follows students the summer before their 10th grade year through high school, to Miriam's point about college, helps the students apply to college, gets them into college, and supports them into and through college. It's a fantastic program. It's both at Sobrato and Live Oak High School, and we're hoping to recruit more students to participate in this. Also had an opportunity to meet with the South County Youth Task Force. We sit with dozens of people throughout throughout South County on ways that we can work together to support our youth. So that was wonderful. We had an update on the diversion program that has been incredibly successful here in Gilroy, here in Morgan Hill and in Gilroy. Also attended the Women of the Year from Assemblymember Pellerin. I just want to highlight that Assistant City Manager and parent at Walsh received the Woman of the Year, one of 13, I believe 13, 13 recipients. So congratulations to Assistant City Manager Edith. Also, Live Oak High School, their boosters is so incredibly fantastic and active. So they had a ribbon cutting and they fundraised. This had been an idea that had that finally came to fruition years later. And so we're hoping that all of these funds are supporting our various sports at Live Oak High School. Also, La Raza Roundtable is an organization that has been around in San Jose for a while. They meet on a monthly basis and they invite people throughout the county to come and speak to them. I was invited to speak on behalf of our school district, and so I was happy to share all the great work and our focus on students. I attended the San Martin Gwin open house. It's always lovely to see hundreds of students and families sharing in the joy of their giving parents an introspective opportunity to see what they do on a day-to-day basis. I have to highlight, though, that picture at the top where you see the kinder students dressed as farmers, no joke. That class was literally turned into a mini farm. They incubated their own eggs. The chicks had recently been born, and they had other wonderful farm animals in there. So it was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. We'll just follow up to make sure that we provide a clean space for that classroom. I've also attended the Martin Murphy open house. That was also lovely to see a lot of parents and students. My favorite part of this open house was this poster that's on the top. All of the teachers from Martin Murphy were able to write, how do you know when a student is thriving? And it's lovely to see the post-it notes based on teacher perspective. Continue my chats with Carmen. I had a chats with Carmen in the community at the adult school, and this is the most recent one. It was my district office chat. Always great to meet with our staff and our parents and our community to understand from them what's working, what's not working, and what can be improved. You saw the video on the YMCA Asset Champions Breakfast. It was wonderful. And by the way, do you know who came in second? Remember, this is a county-wide competition. All the high schools in the county. You know who came in second? Live Oak High School. And at that point, I said, can you just please award both schools? So congratulations to Live Oak and to Sobrado for creating, yes, an incredibly welcoming environment. You saw in the video, and I can, you've seen the speakers tonight. Live Oak High School is very special as well. We also Prosperity Labs is an organization in San Jose. I have to talk a little bit about this because what they do is they provide these courses completely free to our parents. And by the way, there were a couple of staff members who participated. But it's a series of several workshops, and they're coaching and teaching our parents how to use a device, a computer. From the beginning. And at the end of the sessions, and they keep the computer, we have a wait list, and now there's a level 2 for this. So it was wonderful to join these parents in their graduation from their computer classes. Also visits to Sobrado High School and Central High School. The monthly Chamber of Commerce, where I get to talk to our chamber colleagues about all of the wonderful work our staff is leading at their respective sites. Congratulations to Ethan Lay and to Christopher DeMello on this weekend's Celebrate event. And also Dr. Sutton talked about the incredible P3, the PK3 math work that's happening at Los Paseos and at El Toro. There are several levels of support for the P3 work, which, by the way, is completely free to our school district. So this was the superintendent convening. And I have to highlight Laura Schwalm. She's a longtime superintendent in Garden Grove. She's an icon as a superintendent. And so I always feel super special to be in her presence. I'm also a board member for SEAC, and so we had an opportunity to go to Sacramento and to speak to legislators, their staff, the California Department of Finance, to advocate on behalf of our schools and to fully fund us. And just additionally, San Jose State University, I'm incredibly excited. I'll just share a little bit about this because this is still a baby partnership. But we are having conversations on providing dual enrollment courses from San Jose State University into our high schools. We're also working on admissions, guaranteeing acceptance. We're working on that for all of our students as long as they meet the A through G graduation requirements. I also spoke at Loyola Marymount University. There were some students in a graduate program, and so I was able to share about the great work we're leading. And lastly, there was a lot, but lastly, I want to invite everyone to the Morgan Hill Education Foundation Student Celebration. It's completely free. It'll be at the Britain Student Union. Doors open at 5:30. The official event will take place from 6 to 8, and all are invited. That concludes my report. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Superintendent. All right, moving to employee group reports. We do not have one from Morgan Hill classified employees this evening, but we will have from the Morgan Hill Federation of Teachers, Mr. Jim Levis. And friends, or friend.
Plenty.
You can phone a friend like that too. Hey, Lori.
All right. Yes, I am actually starting the MHFT time at the mic this evening. I'm going to put this shorter, which I know Jim will then have to put back up. My name's Lori Shoemaker. I am a math TOSA at PA Walsh STEAM Academy, and I am also a member of the Morgan Hill Federation of Teachers office staff. And I'm here to circle back and close the loop regarding my speech that I made on the 10th of September of 2024, so the beginning of the school year. It was at that time I brought forward my frustrations with the district's lack of understanding and accountability on a contractual matter. And I am happy to report that after 5 months of working on this situation through the grievance process, it has been determined that my knowledge of the certificated bargaining agreement and the district's apparent disregard for it were both accurate. One of the remedies of that grievance was, and I quote, that the district issue an explicit acknowledgement of a violation of the contract to the Board of Trustees and state that there are plans to ensure applicable contract language is adhered to moving forward. And as this was issued back on February 24th, I am sure that you have already been made aware of this as it was well over a month ago. While it's unfortunate that a grievance had to be placed upon the district to come to such an outcome, I am extremely thankful that this process exists so that such situations can be remedied. I'm enthusiastic that both MHUSD and MHFT leadership are now in agreement regarding this contract language. And I just ask for continued trust from the board and the community members in the Morgan Hill Federation of Teachers office staff. It is us who work diligently to uphold the agreements made between the two entities of district and federation. So thank you.
Thank you, Lori. And good evening, President Horner, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Garcia, staff, and guests. I am Jim Levis, the President of the Morgan Hill Federation of Teachers, and I wanted to start off by offering my congratulations to all the students that were recognized tonight for the National Merit Scholarship Recognition, College Board National Recognition, and AP Scholar Recognition. And of course, to congratulate Sobrato for the Caring High School Climate Asset Champion Recognition. It's a long one. I also want to thank Los Paseos for their presentation. Appreciate all the hard work and the information on the programs going on up there. And as Dr. Garcia mentioned, I wanted to give a big congratulations to Sobrato drama teacher Chris DeMello, who was named the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce Educator of the Year and was acknowledged at the event on Sunday. Spring break, of course, is only a few days away, which means that when we return, we are in the home stretch of the year. Continued state testing and end-of-year projects, along with AP testing and college acceptances, makes the end of the year very exciting, but of course very busy. Many elementary schools are in the midst of hosting their spring open houses, and these open houses are really wonderful opportunities to share, for the students to share their classrooms and learnings with their families. MHFT members are currently focused on keeping our students focused through the end of the year. Spring fever can be a challenge, and we continue to work diligently with our students and families. This is also the time of year that our educators are making decisions regarding their next steps. As is the case each year, we are beginning to learn about colleagues who will be leaving us, whether that is in order to spend time with their families, enjoying activities they love as a new retiree, or to explore a new adventure in a new classroom or position elsewhere, either in or outside of the district. Additionally, MHFT office staff is busy planning our upcoming spring general meeting. Here we honor not only our retirees, but also our site teachers of the year, as well as announce our district-wide teacher of the year. And I look forward to the teachers of the year being honored here at a public board meeting in May so that we can all celebrate these fantastic educators and their wonderful accomplishments. I wanted to thank Assistant Superintendent Cheng and Director Lopez for coordinating the two-day district budget committee meetings. We appreciate the opportunity to take a deep dive into the district's budget, so thank you. And continuing the MHFT board communication plan, MHFT office staff shared a Google Sheets presentation with all board trustees this morning, focusing on elementary specials and secondary non-core classes. Again, we encourage you all to take the opportunity to look over this presentation. There are a number of successes and challenges that our members would like you to be aware of. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Levis. For the Morgan Hill Educational Leaders Association, Patrick Buxer. Is Patrick online?
Good evening, everybody. Are you able to hear me?
We hear you loud and clear.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Patrick Buxer, Morgan Hill Educational Leadership Association President. From Mahala, we had our legislative action days up in Sacramento, and AXA continued to advocate to fully fund public education. Recently, our district attended the Santa Clara County Office of Education Recruitment Fair, where Mahala was well represented, and we were very well active throughout the county office recruiting teachers. Their principals are working hard on their school plans and SIPSAs to get ready for your approval later on, as there's only 37 days of school left. So we are actively updating our school plans and getting ready to bring those to our school site councils and get that to you for your approval later in the coming days. Principals are working hard on the classified evaluations, which are wrapping up shortly. And we are very pleased to have Silicon Valley Mathematics Initiative come and visit all math classes in the school district in a short period of time. And a very special thank you to our ESD and math coach, Cindy Wargaki, who helped escort and coordinate quite a bit of visits throughout the campuses. LPAC is finishing up. So, and we're getting prepared for our SBAC testing when we come back from spring break. And finally, congratulations to all of our student awardees, and congratulations to Principal Ramos for joining our Morgan Hill Unified School District family. That's all from Mahela.
Thank you, Mr. Buchser, or I guess President Buchser in this context. All right, moving along, we have our calendar of upcoming events. The calendar of upcoming events specifically that trustee business or trustees are invited to is attached to the agenda. I'm not going to bore anyone or run out my voice by reading them, but please have a look at that item. Going on to item J, our consent items. Do we have any questions regarding the consent items? Anyone want to pull an item, make a brief comment? You can make a brief comment before voting if there's just something like, I love all the travel. That's my comment. Anything to pull or any comments? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve the consent items? Or Vice President Andrade, you look like you're in thought.
I move to approve the consent items.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vice President Andrade. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Trustee Munson. Student Board Member? Thank you. Other trustees, if you agree, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Seeing none, the consent items are passed. Oof, I got to move through a bunch of pages on my notes here, sorry. Okay, we are on board member reports, item K. Do any board members have a report they'd like to make?
Sure.
Trustee Munson, please.
Ooh, sorry. Okay. I had the privilege of attending Serato, or attending, touring Serato. And I saw some amazing things there with the music program, the inclusion classes, and it was just very impressive, their music department. I was like, these are beginners? Well, first I thought they were super advanced, and then someone said they were beginners. I'm like, it was amazing. And then we went to Central and saw the great work that they're doing over there. So very impressed with all of that. And I attended the budget advisory committee with the district and the MHFT. And I just want to extend a thank you to you and your team. You really did an amazing job just having it be collaborative and open and transparent. And so I appreciated that, and I know that everybody else did too. So thank you very, very much. And then I also attended the positive prevention, parent information day, or whatever you call that. But and just wanted to report out that it was done in a really respectful way. I appreciated, again, the transparency. There was a lot of concern from parents and everything, but it was open. People could ask questions, and I encourage parents to talk to their kids about everything. And I just heard, if you want to know, go and ask, because they will give you the information. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's going to meet everybody's needs. But I think it's not, I don't want to say this but we don't have to worry, I think, as much as maybe everybody was thinking. I really liked, they were being trained and communicated to have them refer back to their parents. So the teachers aren't to give any extra information. They're not to go rogue, to really follow the lesson plan. And it's very structured, the lesson plan, and it is very short, about 45 minutes, to try to get everything in. So anyway, I thought it was a good training. She did an amazing job, and it may not be for everybody, and that's why the opt-out is there. But definitely it's open to talking to your kids about. So that's my board report.
Thank you very much. Trustee Marquez.
Yes, I just want to piggyback on what Trustee Munson had spoke about with the Positive Prevention Plus program. I have a fifth grader that is participating in that program now. I looked at the booklet that was given to her, and it's very well done. It's very structured. They know exactly what they're going to talk about each day during the week. Of course, there's a lot of giggling and embarrassment and so forth, but that's to be expected because they're fifth grade. So I appreciate how they're running the program at the school and the teachers. I also attended the Los Paseos first dance. And it was open to all students, and they had to have a parent attend. And it was a lot of fun watching all these kids having a blast. They had food that they could buy and music. And of course, Principal Sutton was right up there with all the kids dancing and having a great time. So it was really well done. It was great. I hope they can do it again. I also attended the Martin Murphy Open House. I met the principal and the vice principal there, and very nice. I had great conversation with both of them. Met some of the teachers. Nice, good, short discussions. Again, like Live Oak, I'm a little concerned with the desks. But overall, they have a great program there, so I look forward to attending more of the open houses that I can in the district. Thank you.
Wonderful. I don't want to ignore my colleague down the end there.
Yeah, I attended the Paradise Open House, and the projects were just amazing. And the silent auction bidding was really fun. I did bid on something, I did my part, I raised the price, and then somebody beat me up by $5. I was like, it's okay.
A double win.
Yeah. So it was fun and it was a great crowd. It was very impressed to be there.
Wonderful, thank you. Anyone else? Madam Clerk?
Yes, I went to the Personnel Commission meeting, and everyone had just gotten back from a conference, and they were commenting that it was really nice to talk to people at other districts and find out how they're doing things, especially right now because they're kind of going through the rules and regulations, and yeah, so they're continuing to do that work, and that's all I have.
Thank you.
I feel I attended the women's celebration for 13 women in the community for District 17, is that? Yeah, so it was great to see Edith there getting celebrated, and I got to meet her children, and one attends Walsh and one attends Britton, so that was great. I always love talking to young people. I also attended the chamber event this Sunday, and I want to plug, well, congratulations to Christopher DeMello, and like he says, plug the show. And so I was so excited to learn that Sobrato is doing SpongeBob the Musical. I can't wait. And so I'm taking my adult children. They agreed to go with me because air is not good, Patrick. And so we're going to go see that. And congratulations to our Student of the Year from Sobrato as well. My understanding, yes. And lastly, I was in a webinar with school board partners yesterday, and it seems as though districts across the country are grappling with AI. And so it was really great to be in a space where 75 school board members from across the country are talking about and sharing resources in the chat. So there's a lot of stuff I was able to get for free. Why reinvent the wheel? And so that was great. And yeah, I think that is it for what I did.
Wonderful, wonderful. All very helpful reports. I won't repeat anything that others already reported on. I was at some of those same things. It's just been an amazing time. The one thing I can add is, well, two things, sorry. Gavilan College had this last week an event they called a Latinx Heritage event arranged by their student leadership. It featured performances and artwork, but the centerpiece was quite a long talk by Paul Chavez, Cesar Chavez's son, and the one who took on running the foundation that his father had started to kind of meet the basic needs of the farm worker community, in addition to the work of the United Farm Workers, advocating from a union point of view. So it was just fascinating hearing his stories about, what he learned working with his father, and how his dad always pushed him. You can do more. You need to do more. And in particular was how to deal with, trying to get things done and not quite achieving it and getting back to work. He told us a story about a particular project they were advocating on where they needed 21 votes in the California Senate to approve an appointment to a committee, as there was going to be a transition of governor many years ago. They did everything they could and got to 20 votes, but not 21. And he was very dejected, but told the story of driving the 5-hour drive home with his father. And Cesar was saying, well, we're going to lose more than we win, but we only really lose if we quit. So we're going to go home, rest up, and tomorrow we get back to work. So I just thought that was a very important message in so many contexts and so many times. You don't win them all, but you only actually lose if you quit. You get in there and you keep working. So I really appreciated. I needed to hear that in a lot of personal ways. So there was maybe some divine intervention that sent me to that event that day. It was very, very useful. And then a whole different topic that a lot of folks many people in this room know, but many people don't know in the community, is the way California funds public education is special, and especially bad in that it underfunds the majority of schools compared to well-funded schools. That's ever since Prop 13 and the way that was implemented. It's so you have, the Silicon Valley Education Foundation has been pushing on this topic for some time, saying we need to do something. This is just not right. How can we, in a well-resourced country, a well-resourced state, a highly resourced county like Santa Clara County, how can we have the resources available to a student change, in some cases, literally by which side of the street you live on? Oh, you're on that side of the street, you go to a school with $30,000 available per student. Oh, you're over there, you go to a school with $16,000 available per student. And that shows up in salaries, in furniture, in everything. And we're one of the districts that's on the low end of that. So our state senator, Dave Cortese, has taken up this challenge. Nobody in California politics has wanted to really confront this for decades because it's so hard and expensive. But his effort is Senate Bill 743 to establish an education equalization account, which basically, and anytime the state has a surplus, a strong portion of that has to be put into this account to backfill lowly funded districts is the concept. How that will all work, we'll see. But I will say, from being part of many of the conversations, again, really led by Lisa Andrew at the Silicon Valley Education Foundation. She's a former superintendent and now advocate. They do a lot of programs. Said we have to talk about this and we have to work on it until it gets fixed. Thinking of Cesar Chavez's thing, is like, just because for 20 years people have gone, yeah, that's wrong, yeah, that's hard, doesn't mean we can give up. So SB 743 is the current run at that. Whether so that's quite a thing. Our Santa Clara County School Board Association Ledge Action Committee, which I'm I guess the secretary of now. I was the founding chair when we started that 4 years ago. But we have gone through the debate there and have weighed in as a co-sponsor. The current chair, Chris Norwood, is now one of the contacts for it. And actually, 4 of us will be leaving tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive to Sacramento, to sit in a room to get our 1 minute of public comment, but really to demonstrate the support. And it's going to take people all throughout California to push on this topic. But it's been too wrong for too long. And we've got to address it. So, that's something everybody here can be part of. If you're really bored tomorrow and want to hop in the car, I've got 1 more seat available. We'll be leaving Morgan Hill at about 5 o'clock. So let me know and come along. So that concludes my report. Do we have any other board member reports?
President Horner, may I add an addendum to your section? Can I invite Director Swift to come up? Do you want to tell us? I forgot to mention Girls Inc. It's the first in Santa Clara County. It was spectacular. Director Swift.
Thank you. I text you.
You can be on the board for 30 seconds.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry.
We actually brought we have Girls Inc. coming to Morgan Hill. It is the first of its chapter to be able to come to Santa Clara. They are in sort of further down the way. They are in Hollister and in Monterey, but it's a group where it is about empowerment for young women, and it creates opportunities for students and specifically women and girls to have leadership, to teach self-advocacy and confidence and life skills, and it teaches them nutrition and health and healthy relationships, and it gives them an opportunity to actually build in the program. And so they start in, normally they start in 10th grade, but I pushed on them and said I'd like to start in middle school. And so we had our first Girls Inc. retreat this last weekend. We had 60 girls from all of our middle schools come, and they participated in a all-day Saturday retreat where they did some vision boards. They met with the Gavilan Equity Dean, and they learned about what opportunities they had at Gavilan in college and what kind of dreams and futures they could have. They talked about healthy self-image and what that looks like for them as they progress through into high school. They were able to talk about what their needs and dreams and wants were and how to meet those goals through this mentorship. And then in Girls Inc., the amazing thing is that they bring back the girls that participate in this throughout the year. So our goal is to have a chapter at both the high schools next year as these girls come into the high schools. They will be one at Live Oak and hopefully one at each high school. And they will meet once a month, and they learn these different skills to be amazing, powerful, wonderful women. And they get to come back as interns. So they actually get to then, as seniors, juniors and seniors, they go and do these retreats for other schools and for other young women in Girls Inc., and they create more chapters. And then Girls Inc. hire them to become then Girls Inc. ambassadors in the organization. And so the people that are part of Girls Inc. were Girls Inc. girls at one point. And so it creates this really amazing opportunity for young women to see themselves in a new light potentially, or in a space of leadership and empowerment. And it was awesome to see all of the girls from all the different middle schools. They weren't allowed to sit with their regular schools, so they all had to sit together in different schools. And so by the end of it, they were like, it was really nice to meet you. I'm going to see you next year at blah, blah, blah school. And they got to really just, they got a shirt and they got swag. And it truly was a powerful opportunity for them to have each other. So it was great, and it's the first one in Santa Clara. So another first in Morgan Hill. So.
Wonderful. Thank you for the work and for sharing it. All right. Item L, future agenda items. Do we have any requests? Trustee Gardner.
Yes, so I do have a concern about staff retention, and I know the past board we brought this up in the past with regards to I'd like to maybe have something on a retreat or whatever, maybe theme or whatever we figure out to kind of get to the point, but I'd like to have an idea of the retention and the issues that we're having with that, because I think that's still an ongoing concern.
So is it fair to say you'd like a report on retention or turnover rates, and perhaps in a context of other districts in our region? If that data is available?
Exactly, yeah.
We already do collect the data for the reasons for each of the separations. So we have longitudinal data points by association, so MHFT, Mahela, and Mesilla, and the reasons why they leave. We can certainly provide that to the board.
Yeah, and I don't want it just by the group. We're talking about positions, so.
So are you talking about naming names, or are you talking about?
No, not naming names.
But just the teachers, custodians,
Exactly,
that sort of
TOSAs,
thing?
whatever, yeah.
We certainly don't have that data aggregated that way, but I can work with staff on see what we can do, and I can provide that to the board.
Because
Is
that
something
has been an
big
ongoing,
enough effort you need
ongoing.
a majority to direct, or is it something you can do in your own volition? Probably depends on how soon. Looking at Assistant Superintendent.
And it's also Go ahead, trustee Andrade.
I was just going to add, maybe perhaps that report could be at a later date, so that way you can collect the data for this year. And I know that there's a cutoff because I filled out that survey at one point when I left the district. And so maybe perhaps at a summer board meeting, I'm just wondering, because then you'd have recent data.
Okay, so perhaps you can put that on the list and we can, at a later time, discuss the exact timing and precise content, if that's okay?
Yes, as long as we get to it. This has been like almost 2 years in coming, I think.
Okay, we'll make sure it's on the follow-up list. Any others? Trustee Munson?
At the risk of over-promising and under-delivering, I can certainly commit staff to moving forward, disaggregate the data by position, as trustee Gardner is asking. I am not sure that we're able to go back. That is quite laborious to go back and disaggregate. We have it by association, that can be easily provided, but moving forward, we can further disaggregate that info.
Take a look at it, and now is not the time to solve it, but take a look at it and get back to us in a expedient but not rushed fashion.
Yes, but I do want to make it crystal clear that those are data points that we already do collect.
Thank you.
Okay.
Trustee Munson?
Yeah, during the public comment, a lot of the teachers that were having concern about not transferring, but their students, their own personal students or children staying with them, they mentioned there wasn't a clear written policy. If maybe we could look into that. I don't know. Well, I don't even know. I'm not sure what you were asking, to tell you the perfect, honest truth. I'm not sure what you were asking for, but that's what I was just, maybe if we could, I don't know if that's part of that. I'm not sure, but if we can get some kind of written or look into it, I don't know.
Yeah,
I know you provided us a lot of information.
Yeah,
but if we
that-
have
Trustee Munson, can I add to your point?
policy, yeah.
I think maybe advising the policy committee on looking into the interdistrict transfers. And so as someone who was a teacher who filled one out to get from Morgan Hill to go to San Jose Unified, I found it really difficult to obtain information. And then I saw this, right? But I have some information from our neighboring districts. San Jose Unified has a really robust policy, and I think what we're kind of looking for is just written.
Clear.
And then the steps of the steps, right? So I think a couple of the issues were, once you're in, you should be in. And so how can we be in compliance with the law, but also be in service to, I would say, employees of the site, not just because we don't want to forget about and alienate our classified staff. So I think we can guide the policy committee to look into that, and maybe why not reinvent the wheel, but maybe look at what some of our neighboring districts are doing and look at that language.
Yeah, I think the policy committee took a informal look at this topic last year, and I think you're referring it with this input back. We have to be careful not to get into too much discussion right now since we haven't agendized it. But I think it'd be appropriate to refer to the policy committee. And if you get to the superintendent, examples of all the elements, then that can go there for the deeper dive it deserves. Since we can't do the deep dive right now as much as we'd like to. Okay, is that it for you, Trustee Munson? Others?
Yes.
Okay, please, Vice President.
I have a couple of concerns. An issue at PA Walsh regarding lunch tables. And so I understand that this is, for me, it's an equity issue. There's some lunch tables that are rusted, peeling, things like that. My understanding is a meeting has transpired, and I just kind of wanted to know if it's been resolved. Are there going to be tables being delivered? Do we have them?
Would you like me to address it?
And the only reason I keep getting emails, and I just want something to.
Yeah, and she goes to all my coffee chats. So we followed up. She's a phenomenal community member. She's a grandmother at Walsh, and I absolutely love her advocacy. Director Carrillo and Assistant Superintendent Chang has already met with her. They've devised some key next steps, and they will be ordering new tables for Walsh. And so I believe that that has been communicated to our community member. I think she wasn't able to pick up the phone, correct? But yes, but we're taking care of that.
So they've been ordered, or they're.
We have to be careful. Again, this is not.
This is not, this is not, but it's something that we're.
Okay,
So to report back.
Vice President Andrade, just know that this is already on our radar. and
Got
we're
it. Okay,
addressing
so
it.
then that leads me to my second point. I'd like some clarification on, and this ties into what we've heard tonight. What is the life cycle and the standard operating procedures with our facilities department and desks? Because the way I look at it is, why is it that these desks from the 80s and the 90s are still there? What is the life cycle? So we have a standard operating procedures for life cycle for Chromebooks. We replace those regularly. What is the standard operating procedure for desks and things like that? And how can we direct staff maybe to look at resources available so that Live Oak students don't have to wait for something like this? Maybe
Trying to be careful because this issue was not agendized, but just so that you know, the pilot that was referred to during public comment, just so that you know, the cost for each classroom was $60,000 times hundreds of classrooms that we have on our campuses. And so I know that one of the public speakers has been communicating with Assistant Superintendent Chang. And so he's already on this. And again, at the risk of overpromising and under-delivering, I don't want to say we're buying brand new furniture, that will cost $10 million. We certainly can't commit to that. But we are and have been committed to making improvements on that end. This is really as a result of years-long neglect that has certainly caught up. And so we are working with teachers and others to remedy that.
And so then maybe perhaps then I can just guide staff or guide you to look into staff of, again, the life cycle policy, like develop, what is the policy for all of this so that it doesn't happen again in 20 years when we're faced with another, then the Sobrado students are going to come in. So I guess that's what I'm looking for is like the policy. What's the policy? Do we have one or can you provide? Yeah.
And the funding mechanism.
Yeah, but the policy more.
We can certainly look into that.
Yeah.
We can look into the policy of the life cycle of furniture.
Thank you. Anything else?
I would like to see not just Live Oak, but I would like to see all the other schools. I mean, I don't foresee replacing every student desk in every room at every school within the district, but maybe doing an evaluation, maybe we can, discuss that as one of the agenda items is, what can be done and, to do an inspection of all the classrooms and what is needed and what it's going to cost and how are we going to be able to improve it if we can. So that would be something I would be interested in discussing.
And thank you so much, Trustee Marquez. That has already been, that already happened with the updating of our facilities master plan and the overhaul of all of our facilities to make sure that they're, 21st century standard. It's a $1.2 billion cost. And so we absolutely will need to pursue a bond, and the board has already directed me to look into the possibility of that. And so we're already working with some consultants and doing the initial brainstorm. That won't happen until 2026. It's either March or November. The board you will have to officially direct me to pursue a bond, but we've done that. And I can send that out and I can send the link to the report.
That would be great. Thank you very much.
I will say too, we have to be careful about not getting into doing facilities planning by, who's most aggressively speaking up about it, and because there's a lot of things that need doing at every site. So yes, being responsive to emails and comments and conversations is very important, and we have to be careful not to get into the squeaky wheel syndrome, or we will just be chasing ever more squeaky wheels. So we have to. There are a lot of pieces, but we do have some resources. So our staff's job to look at all the various needs and prioritize how we do that. And, you know, with it, certainly, you know, input and guidance and policy direction from us. But we do have to be responsive, but be careful about not buying desks and furniture and tables, you know, based on who managed to grab my ear at Nowville. It's a tricky business.
I do have to clarify, though, a comment that was said 2 or 3 times during public comment in reference to the hate symbols. Please know that we don't tolerate that. And so I was able to communicate with the site administrators at Live Oak, and so they quickly remove hate symbols. So know that the team on campus is on it. And I just didn't want that to be hanging out, that somehow we're looking the other way. We absolutely do not tolerate hate in any form in our school district.
Thank you. Anything else? No. Seeing no hands or other motions, we now have item M. We have a recommendation for the expulsion and rehabilitation plan for student designated E2425-06. We discussed both of these in closed session, which is where those discussions belong. I'll ask if we have a motion to approve the plan we saw in closed session. Thank you. Trustee Gardner, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Trustee Munson. Student board member, you're off the hook on this one. So trustees, all in agreement, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? That passes unanimously by the 6 members present. Similarly, we have the recommendation for expulsion and rehabilitation plan E2425-007. Same thing. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Was that Trustee Munson? Yeah. And second?
Second.
I think we'll give that one to Trustee Marquez. Thank you very much. All in agreement, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Hearing none, that passes unanimously by the 6 members present. And we're now at item N, adjournment. Thank you and good night. And I'm going to try and get some sleep, so 'cause I'm going to be up early in the morning.
And Board Member Faruqi, informal update on college? Probably
Are you sure they deserve you? Have they earned you? You're right. That's great. Ba-doo, 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 ba-doo.